Hello! Today I'm going to talk about some ideas for making your own Valentine's cards. I've got quite a few different supplies here, so I'll show you a bit of everything and then you can incorporate some or all of these ideas into making your own card. So the first thing is I'll just show you some examples of what I've created and how I've created them. So I've got these cookie cutters that are from the dollar store, and I used them to draw hearts on paper and then cut them out. So just simply with a pencil, I did some little cutouts that looked like this. Did some larger sizes with a larger cookie cutter. Also took them and made some 3D hearts by folding them in half. And this is just basic construction paper, really simple. So just taking a line down the middle with glue. And this is pretty simple school glue. I'm sure we got this at the dollar store as well. And just putting those two together, give them a bit to dry, and you end up getting these kind of 3D heart ideas. I made a smaller version with I don't know why, I love pink and orange together, so made this kind of an idea, and you could put that on a card for someone. I also did some, again with these cookie cutters, and I'll show you with the larger size, a couple different ideas with these. So, because I like to get thrifty and use all kinds of different things with the art, this is just a mesh bag that you would get with oranges, citrus fruits, that sort of thing. So this is an orange mesh bag, and I took the cookie cutter, and I've done it with watercolors, but today I'm going to do a little bit with acrylic paint. So again, this basic acrylic paint I've got in a palette over here with those same colors, and just using that to paint inside with the mesh. And you can do two colors at once if you want to. It's called I forget what it's called. You load your brush with two different colors of ink. Double loading, I think that's what it's called. I'm going to do a little bit of both. And sometimes with these things, you never really know how it's going to end up. You just get something kind of different. I'm going in with both colors. And we'll see what comes of it. Okay, take that off. Voila, beautiful. Who would have thought? So that's our little experiment with essentially using found objects. We did that a little bit in another video with fruit and vegetables and things like that. You can just take random things that you have in your household and use them for art. So I quite like that. So you could use that and cut it out, which I have done with these. So these were watercolor hearts that I made earlier this afternoon in our art group. And I also have another technique with watercolors, and I'll show you a little bit of that technique as soon as I find, that is my watercolor paper. Okay, so we've got that heart there, and I will just quickly show you another technique that we can use for watercolors. So I've I've got these watercolor trays, random colors. I will choose something other than pink and orange. Let's see, do a bit of blue. I'm going to use this heart again, and I'll show you a couple things you can do with watercolors for texture. If you want to get fancy, your watercolors, you can use one container for cool colors, one container for warm. I'm using the same water from earlier this afternoon, so it's getting a little muddy. I'm going to tell you the truth there. I've got some salt. I'm going to throw that on top of that. And this technique works quite well. I've just got a little container of salt here. This works quite well if your watercolor is a little on the wetter side. I'm just going to get a bit more color in here. So you basically let it dry, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it has dried. You can also, it's a little strange there, but I will show you a version of what it looks like once it's dried. You can also use, I have a little container of hydrogen peroxide. You can use that for different get a bit more of an effect. This is good if you are working with watercolors and you're doing things like clouds, sky, water, that sort of thing. So I'll leave these to dry, but I will show you what they end up looking like so that you have an idea of how you would use this in your art. So the one over here, we've got, this is salt and hydrogen peroxide, just a free-form heart. This was using the mesh bag that we used earlier, and that is without any salt or hydrogen peroxide, and this is with salt over here. So it's pretty subtle, but you can see you can get some interesting effects with that. And the other thing I was going to show you, yeah, this might show you it as well. Hydrogen and salt. So you can incorporate all these different ideas into making some sort of Valentine. Put a lovely message on the inside. I made one a couple minutes ago with stick figures. So this is my finished Valentine. I'll show you here. I took one of these hearts that I made, so I cut out a heart, and then I put some little pom-poms on it, created a heart, and then a little stick figure, gave myself some hair, and it says, "I love you this much." So I think I'm just going to put that on my desk for myself, and that's my Valentine. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will put a little list of possible things that you could use in making your Valentine, and I'll put that on with the video. Thanks. Goodbye.